What's up, everyone? I think I love you with lover boy Los. I'm back. I know. I've been a little inconsistent with the episodes, but there's a reason for that.
Man, that's right. This dude got a girlfriend. So he's been on his honeymoon bullshit. While we all out here working and doing our thing, he's been relaxing, kicking back. But they've been dating for about a year now, so we're about to learn the truth about that relationship. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on their status.
Yes, and there's going to be an episode, so don't worry, we got you. And also, Anthony ruptured his Achilles tendon trying to play ball with the big boys. Hope you didn't break your ankles too much, man. I mean, those floors, they're slippery. I mean, they got Kobe one day. But he's been getting babied by his girlfriend, Melissa, and trying to recover by that.
Yeah. This guy sounds a little jealous. I think he wishes he had his girl who also babied him as well. It's all good.
Not true.
But enough about us. We have a new episode for you guys. We bring you Sara Finney, a hustler and entrepreneur in her own right. She's an LA native who's only been in long distance relationships.
Man, I don't even know about long distance, but I know for sure I would not be able to do one, man.
You know what, bro? Me either. I definitely need that physical connection every night.
This guy, okay. All right, Anthony, I see how you do. I'm pretty sure Melissa wouldn't like being in New York. But anyways, Sarah's very active in the LA scene. We get her scoop on dating guys, virtual sex, being self-aware, and how dating apps, get this, are a waste of everyone's time. Surprise. So sit back, relax, and listen to the episode because you might be needing this info sometime soon.
Welcome to I Think I Love You, where we keep it real with your past, current, and future relationships. With your host, Loverboy Los.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of I Think I Love You with Loverboy Los. Obviously, I'm not Loverboy Los. My name is Anthony. I help Carlos produce this podcast. And today our guest is Sara Finney.
Hi. Oh my God.
Sara works in television. She is a production manager, but she also has a lot of side gigs. She is she has a mixology YouTube series.
Yeah.
Awesome. You are also on IGTV, and you help tutorials doing what?
So I have a tutorial right now on just how to do your brows really, really quickly. I don't wear makeup during the week a lot, so it's just a quick thing that you can do.
Nice.
And then my next one that I'm doing is today's bun, actually, that I'm wearing. So yeah.
It's pretty nice and tight.
Thank you. So this is a day 2 bun, which means I did it yesterday, and then I got lazy, and then I just slicked more gel. So
that's interesting.
But no one knows that.
You also have you're working on a cocktail book?
Yeah, so I'm making a cocktail book because I kind of consider myself a lifestyle mixologist. So I feel like there's a cocktail for any moment. So I'm just kind of putting that in a book.
Nice. And yeah, that's it. Do you have anything else? Does that cover everything?
I think that's everything.
Yeah,
time management's
key for you. You got a lot going on.
It is.
But the main reason why we have you here, obviously, this is a podcast about love and learning and teaching people. And I want to talk about long distance relationships. I do not understand how people do this shit.
Okay.
It's very confusing to me, but I know that, and we're going to dive into your story. You were in a 9.5-year long distance relationship?
Correct.
How'd this all come about? Let's just break it down to everyone who's listening right now. What happened? How this 9 fucking years? What?
I know. It's like being married and divorced, honestly. It's like a whole thing. So I went to homecoming. He went to Morehouse, and my cousin went to Spelman. So my second year in college, I went out there to hang out with them and just chill. He was wingmanning my cousin's friend at the time. I don't know if they were dating. I don't know what the situation was, but we all started hanging out. I went to all the parties and everything like that. And then he asked me for my number, and then we kept talking. And then he flew out to California 2 months later, I want to say. And then we started dating.
So going into this relationship, you already knew what you were getting into with the long distance.
Yeah. I mean, it was my first real relationship. So I didn't have any like barriers or, anything kind of stopping me.
Okay, so tell us the highs of like when you first started. What are some of the great things that happened in this long-term relationship or long-distance relationship?
Yeah. I mean, my miles went up like crazy, obviously. I was always on a flight. I was always gone. I was on Skype a lot at the time. So
And you're still getting like these butterflies within the new relationship area where it's that what did they say?
honeymoon phase?
Honeymoon phase.
Yeah, it's like a normal relationship. You go through all like the butterflies, you go through all the talking, you go through all the like kind of meet the family. It's all that.
Yeah. So, well, I knew you were going to be on the show.
Yes.
I went and did some research.
All right.
According to the New York Post,
I'm in the New York Post?
No, it said according to the New York Post.
Got it.
Take that source for however you like.
Okay.
58% of long distance relationships have a success rate. That's actually, I was very surprised to hear that.
I am not surprised at all. Because I
Why
feel
is
like
that?
when you're in a regular relationship, there's certain things that you kind of like let slide and let the relationship kind of fade out naturally. But when you're in a long distance relationship, you're really putting in a lot of work to communicate with this person. So I feel like you have a higher success rate. It's because the effort that you're putting in, it's kind of a match to like a regular person.
I'm still
No.
surprised. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't get it. I'm a very physical, intimate person, and
Yeah.
I can't do that through Skype. I
Yeah.
feel like. How
I
were you
mean-
able to do that?
I mean, definitely Skype helps. I think phone calls helps. The time difference sucks, obviously. He was in
Yes.
Atlanta. I was in Santa Barbara. And I mean, I was getting no sleep sometimes. So that was terrible. But overall, I think there was a lot of text messages, a lot of like pictures, all that.
So, did you guys like plan future events a lot, or was it kind of like rando? Like, hey, I don't know, kayak has fucking.
It was
a
random.
deal. Okay.
I mean, I was in college still. So you got to remember, I'm still kind of living on a budget at this
Okay,
point.
gotcha.
So it'd be like random sales. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to Atlanta this weekend. He'd be like, okay, perfect. Like, I'll be here. And I'm like, okay, great. And then he'll be like, oh, there's a sale. I'm coming to LA. I'm like, okay, cool. But we try to see each other like at least like once every month and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that this relationship was on and off, right?
Yeah.
So obviously there was some like trouble within this. Where did you start to see the relationship starting to take the wrong turn?
Yeah. I think it was maybe like 2 years in.
Okay.
Definitely cheating. Definitely some disrespect for sure. Just like the time management thing started to kind of fade, and that happens naturally. Like as you're growing apart, like in college, you're really finding yourself. So it's like certain things that used to be okay with me weren't okay with me anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure
that's-
vice versa as well.
Yes, definitely. That is the biggest thing. How do you not cheat? You're long distance, different area codes,
Yeah.
as they say. Like you don't have no idea what's going
Right.
on. So like you never got that urge. You never had that itch
No.
that you needed to scratch.
No, I went to UCSB, so we are a wild school. For sure. But I also had a very like free spirit personality back then. I used to be very, very crazy. I went to all the parties, so it's like I never felt like I was missing out on anything for sure. He was a little bit more conservative initially, and then became more of a party person. So I think for him, it was more of like a slow grow. Like I'm developing into this like more social person. Well, for me, it was like that's my personality anyway. So nothing surprised me. Nothing was like sexy to me where I felt like it was off limits. You know?
Gotcha. So you're kind of like loyal to the soil.
For sure. Loyalty
Okay.
is everything.
So let's talk about him then. Why did he not feel the same way?
So I think guys, not only do you guys mature differently than us, but I think sometimes your glow up is a little bit later than ours is. So I feel like when he started to like find himself and really he became a frat boy. Like I think all that was kind of new energy for him. So I think it was shiny and new, and that's what he wanted. So,
Interesting.
but I feel like you can never pinpoint one reason why someone cheats or, dips out of a relationship.
How'd you find out he was cheating?
Instagram,
That's
social
just like,
media.
I feel like everyone finds out that way. Like people that just aren't smart enough on this social media. Not to say like a lot of people out there are doing it, but
Right.
I don't know if you're gonna do it. Why like it's so obvious.
Yeah, so I was hanging out with my friends, and the girl like tagged him in a picture, and I knew all his girlfriends at the time, so I was like, I don't know who this is or whatever. And then I read the caption and it was like, best boyfriend ever. So I guess they went on a date and she had tagged him in like the date picture. So then I call him like, hey, who is this? And like, why are you being tagged? And he's like, oh, she's just a friend. Like I was helping her out of like a bad relationship. So like I took her out. And I'm like, no, this does not sound like normal. Like there is a problem. So yeah. And then he finally like admitted it later.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so obviously that wasn't all in 9.5 years. So like you eventually went back?
Yeah. I eventually went back. So we would take like year breaks. So like I would just be like, okay, let's break up. Like I don't want to do this anymore. So then like a year would go by and then he'd be like, oh, like I'm different, like I'm growing or blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, okay, well, I'm chilling. Like I don't have anyone else around. Like, sure, I'll hop back into this. And it's like, I recycle bodies. So like, you know what I mean?
What?
I recycle bodies. So it's like, I've been there before. I know it. Why not? So yeah. I don't do that anymore, but I used to. I'll say that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and then obviously it goes south again.
Yeah.
And what's the reason this time?
This time, so initially in the relationship, I was never really jealous. So like, I don't know. I think it being my first relationship, I was just open to new things and being like, sure, I guess this is how relationships go. And I'm not really a jealous person naturally. So for me, I was like, I started becoming more jealous as like the relationship grew because one day we were like talking and he was like, you're not really jealous. I feel like you're not really into me. Like you don't want to fight for me, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, you're right. So I would like pretend to be jealous, like have these pretend jealous fights just to make sure I was putting that energy out there that I like was concerned and I really wanted this and stuff like that. But then it actually became a trait that I like gained. So I feel like our third breakup was like over jealousy. Because I was like, who you hang out with? Like, why are you out so late? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is not me at all. But I developed that. So yeah.
Gotcha. Is this the one time, because I remember we shared a story, or you shared a story with me about going to, I don't know if it was New York or Atlanta, but he picked you up from the airport and you guys were in the car and then like there was an argument and you got out of the car or something like that. But you want to share that story real quick?
Yeah. So one time, I think you're mixing two different stories.
Oh, so okay.
Okay. So one time he picked me up from the airport with two of our mutual friends. And then he didn't have his car for some reason. So the other friend was driving. So then they picked me up and then I'm like, where's your car? Like, even though I love my friends, don't get me wrong, I'm like, why? You know, I just got in town. Like, I just been in the airport all day. Like, I'm tired. Like, I kind of want to just chill.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where's your car? And then he was like, oh, we're going to go pick it up. So I'm thinking he left it somewhere on campus or something. We have to go get it. We pull up to this restaurant and like, I'm saying bye to the guys and he goes inside, I guess gets his keys from the girl over the counter and then comes out, starts putting my stuff in the car. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, did you just go in a restaurant, get your car keys from another female, and then, like, come back in the car and, like, dapping them up, like, bye, guys, see you later, thanks for the ride, let's go. And I'm like, what? No. What is this? So then I don't say anything. I'm just super quiet. We get back to the apartment, and there's, like, a note. And she was like, I'm so glad, like, we're working on our relationship, blah, blah, blah. So then he grabs the note and, like, rips it up. But I, like, read it, but I didn't say I read it. I was like, what is that? And he was like, nothing. I was like, my homegirl who we like went and got my car from. I let her use it. And I was like, no, you didn't. You're lying, blah, blah, blah. And then that was like a whole big thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know what time. Was that like second, third, fourth, fifth time?
That might have been third.
Third time?
Yeah.
So you eventually recycled the body again.
Yeah.
And went back.
It's a 9-year thing.
Yeah, that's
like,
a lot.
I've done it a few times.
So, like, what was the last, like, the end all to be all, and like, what made you stop this relationship?
So once again, I went to homecoming last year, 2 years ago, I think, either 2 years ago. I went to homecoming, and we hadn't been talking for 3 years. So we had taken a 3-year break. Like, we hadn't been communicating at all. And then we saw each other, and we're like, how are you? Like, it was very, very chill, very cool. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, I remember why I liked you.
Yeah.
And then he felt the same way. And I was like, so what's going on? And he had moved to New York at this point. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm chilling in LA. Like, nothing crazy is happening. I'm not in a relationship. He said he wasn't in a relationship. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then December comes and my cousin's going to New York for her birthday. I'm like, awesome. Like, I'll split my time between him and then you guys. So that's what I did for a couple days. And then I ended up staying with him for the following week. And then as soon as I got home, I like landed at like 2 a.m. or something. I sent him a text like, hey, made it. By 2 p.m. in the afternoon, I got a DM.
Oof.
Yeah.
Gotta love the DMs.
Yeah. Social media, again.
It's not your friend.
No, it's informing me about everything that's going on. It was a girl who was like, hey, it came to my attention that you hung out with blank for the past 2 weeks while I was away on holiday. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, that's my boyfriend of 3 years. So the time we weren't talking, they had developed a relationship. And pretty much she was like living there and all that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then I had to like dead it.
And then he eventually like kept trying to contact you. And
Initially, he was definitely contacting me. And then I think I sent him a text like, listen, I just can't do this. Like, you got to stay on my life. And then that was it.
Did you hold like, were you strong? Did you break down a little bit or what?
I mean,
what was
I think initially I was strong because we had just rekindled in October and it was January. So it's like we hadn't really had that much time to really be dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was still very, very chill. So it wasn't as hard for me as I felt like it was for the other girls, for sure. There was 7 other girls, actually.
7?
Yeah. I think it was either 5 or 7. It was a lot of other girls. So then I was like, this is crazy. So then I had one really hard cry about it. And I think I had that cry because I was like, this is who like my back pocket person was. Like, if nothing else works out, like I always had this in the back of my mind, like, okay, like, you know, we'll find each other again if it's meant to be. But now that that's gone, it's like, oh, you're single. Like, you really have no one else. So yeah. I think that's why I was crying.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like a love lost.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That's, I don't know, man. Still 9 years. What are you doing? Like, long distance, 9 years. I love my girlfriend, but if she were to move to Santa Barbara, we may have to stop this relationship.
I mean, that's only 2 hours away.
I know,
so you're
but
petty as fuck. That's just petty.
No, she says the same thing. It's just long distance. I think we both know our needs, and we both know that we need to see that person. I mean, maybe not on a daily, but we need to know that they're nearby if we need them.
Yeah, no, I'm not like that at all. Like, I can go days without seeing someone I really, really like.
Do you think that it's difficult for guys to understand that because you are just, you know, I guess you have a certain way of seeing it?
Now that I'm dating in LA, I tell people like, oh, this is new for me. I've only had long distance relationships. I've never dated in LA before, other than like, you know, high school, talking to someone here and there. So they're just like kind of blowing up my phone if I take like a minute to get back to them, or if I'm like, oh, like, let's hang out like in 2 weeks or something. They're like, oh no, you're not interested in me. It's like, no, I really like you. I just don't have time, or it's like, I don't feel like we need to be like on top of each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I looked at this book. You can buy it on Amazon.
Okay.
It's called Long Distance Relationship Survival Guide Strategies.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so we're going to go over some things that work and some things that they say do not work. And maybe you can like give your own 2 cents. Let us know maybe this, yes, I agree with this, or like, no, that's dumb as shit.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so one thing that they suggest is hone your communication skills.
For sure. I think my communication skills are top notch.
Are top notch?
Yeah, I'm a really great communicator.
And was this other person, can I call him NY? New York? We'll call him New York because that's where he's from.
Okay.
He's
from Virginia, but he lives in New York.
Okay, so he's still New York to me.
Yeah.
How were his communication skills?
Initially they were great. Like, we were both really eager and excited to like get to know each other. So like any relationship, it starts off really strong, but then it would be like short text messages here and there or something like that, and I would be like, okay, which kind of led to me discovering the cheating and all that, you know? Yeah. So I think a way a person communicates kind of tells you a lot about their like thought of you.
Yeah. Okay. Second one, make big decisions in person. Do you agree with that? Why not?
Because I can be on FaceTime and tell you how I feel, just like I could be in front of your face and tell you how I feel.
But do you think that's more like, not to say that it's I'm I'm not saying trying to say selfish, but that works for you, right? What if it doesn't not necessarily work for your partner?
But the thing about a long distance relationship is like, do I have to get on a flight every time we're like, let's open a bank account together? Like, we
Maybe.
could do that over the phone.
Maybe.
No.
No?
No.
Oh man, you're
Or
telling
if it's like a mattress and like you're jumping on the mattress, I'm like, okay, is this side soft? Is this hard? I like mine kind of medium.
Yeah.
I don't need to like be there jumping with you technically.
Gotcha. This one I found interesting. It was maybe or maybe not. I don't know. It's called Ask Good Questions. I guess you can just get on the phone and rattle off really about nothing that adds nothing or has any value to the relationship for growth. So when you get on, make sure that it's meaningful.
I kind of agree and I kind of disagree, but I want to hear your opinion on it first.
I agree. So probably like 70-30 for the fact that if I get on the phone, it's for a reason. I want to chat. I'm not there to like just have my phone to my ear and like we're not really saying anything or doing anything. Like other than that, like it takes away rather than adds.
Okay. I think I'm split because if I had like a really stressful day, like I probably don't want to talk about anything big or heavy. So if we're just chatting about like normal stuff or like the show we're both watching or just like mindless stuff like that, then sometimes that's nice. It's relaxing. It's calming. Just like if we were in person, we'd be chilling or Netflix and chilling or, it's kind of equals each other. And then in terms of, what was the first part of it again?
We'll ask good questions just ask good questions in general, like when you're spending time with each other and talking to each other. So
yeah, I think if you don't ask good questions or ask like questions in terms of purpose and you're in a long distance relationship, it can fade really easily. That other person might just think this is like, I don't know, very chill and like you guys are just passing the time with each other. But if you like want to grow into something, I think you definitely have to put that out there and see where their head is at.
Do you think that they should, like people in relationships should constantly be talking about the future? Or do you think it's okay to always live in the present?
I think it's a mix of both. I think you have to live in the present to really enjoy it. But then I think you have to talk about the future to keep moving forward.
Gotcha. Do you think if a guy avoids talking about the future, that's a danger sign?
For sure. He's not interested.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Another one that they suggested was ways to experience life together. Now they said this can be in person or as your favorite thing to do is Skype or what else?
I don't know if anyone Skypes anymore, but it was Skype then, and iChat was a really big thing. But I think everyone FaceTimes now.
So I guess like you can go on the hike but have them on the phone type shit, but so that's like quality time still.
No, 'cause on a hike I'm like breathing heavy, I'm like running, like
gotcha. You're focused on you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be sweating and being like, oh my god, that hill was amazing. How do you feel? And they're laying in bed.
Yeah,
like no, that's not gonna work.
So you take that more as big life movements like let's go on a trip together or something like that.
For sure, I think you should definitely travel together. Any relationship, in person or meeting them, definitely travel.
Gotcha. This one I agree with. I think this is very important.
Okay.
Don't always be alone with each other. Always make sure to be around other people.
Oh my God. I don't think always, but I definitely agree with this one for sure. Because I think when you're in a long distance relationship, you miss each other a lot. So you're just like, oh my God, I haven't seen you. You haven't seen me. Like, let's hang out together and do everything together. But it kind of forms a bubble. And then you kind of miss out on life experiences that you should be doing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Mm-hmm. That's all on that. That's an
easy one.
Yeah, that's an easy one. We talked about that one. It was relationship goals, but that kind of goes hand in hand with the ask good questions and the futuristic of the relationship.
For sure. You should definitely talk about your goals when you're together and apart.
This one is number one on my list.
Okay.
Enjoy life apart.
Yes. Definitely have your own life. I think it's really important to be independent because as soon as that something, God forbid, happens to that person, you don't want to be stuck in a hole. You know what I mean? Like you want to enjoy your friends, you want to enjoy your family, you want to have hobbies, you want to have your own personality, you want to have your own life.
Have you ever had that friend who was like, I have so many of these friends, or I've had so many of these friends where they were in a relationship and they were like all booed up forever. Didn't go like their social life ended pretty much. And then once that relationship ended, they try to get back in the mix, and you're like, yo, man, I haven't seen you in like 5 years, but what's up?
No.
How you doing?
I don't have any of those friends. All my friends are ratchet. We turn up together. Like, we are party girls. Like, so even in a relationship, we either like bring the people we're in a relationship with, or like we hang out with each other, or even if like my friend has like a boyfriend, she's still going to go out dancing with us. Like, doesn't matter. Like, we hang out together. I'm sure they hang out together and like hang out and party and all that. So even chilling, I feel like even if we're having like a dinner or something, you're allowed to go out in a relationship.
Damn, it's the difference between Orange County and LA County, I guess.
Probably.
Okay, so now we're gonna go over the don'ts, like what you shouldn't get in a long distance relationship if you need these things.
Okay, got it.
Let me know if you agree and or disagree.
Perfect.
If you need physical intimacy.
No, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that. Why?
I feel like
that seems like an obvious one.
But I feel like you can still need intimacy and still be in a long distance relationship. You just have to put more effort in. You have to pour more money in to make it happen.
But what if your urge comes, I don't want to say daily.
Mm-hmm. That's a mental thing, though.
That's a mental thing?
That's a mental thing. That's all about self-control. That's all about wants.
Gotcha.
You can control that if you want to.
What if you don't want to, though?
Then don't get in a long-distance relationship.
There you go.
Okay.
Let's see. You can't stand talking on the phone. Can you survive without that?
No, you cannot be a text-only long-distance relationship.
Really?
I did that for a little bit initially with this guy from New Orleans, but he lived in Houston. And like when we first started talking, like it would only be on text. And I'd be like, okay, like we need to talk on the phone.
Wait. You've been in multiple long-distance relationships.
Yeah, I've only been in long-distance relationships.
Oh,
That's what
my
I'm
gosh.
saying. I've never dated in my city.
What?
Yeah. We just went over this. You don't listen. We went over this in the beginning. I mentioned this.
I didn't listen.
Obviously.
Okay, so one statistic that I found interesting as well was that after 4 months, long distance relationships usually break up.
I can see that. It's hard work.
How long was the New Orleans Houston one?
That one was maybe like 6 months, 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah, not that long.
So why can't you date in LA? You're from here. You know people in all areas of life.
Yeah.
But yet you date outside of the state.
I don't know. I haven't met. Also, okay, this is the thing about being an LA native. You can easily like cross-contaminate friend groups by accident. Like there's a 1 degree separation between everyone that's from LA. So let's say like I have a friend group over here and I think this guy is cute. He probably knows the other guy that I think is cute too, and they probably hung out together. So it's like you have to tread lightly not to be a hoe pretty much. Especially if you're a native, I feel like. So it's like for me, I haven't even met anyone where I feel like, oh, like, yeah, I definitely want to date you, 1, and then 2, you just have to be careful.
So if the lines connect, you're just an automatic out.
Kind of.
Damn.
Sort of. It depends. It depends on the situation.
What's something that you would give the pass on then?
I mean, if you guys are like, everyone knows everyone. So if you guys are social friends, like, hey. But if like you guys were like best friends in high school and, you know, stuff like that, I probably wouldn't.
Okay. Yeah. So you have not yet found someone that you can, get into a relationship with here that doesn't know anyone your friends or hasn't been with anyone of your friends?
Yes. And I just haven't found anyone that I'm interested in Los Angeles as of yet.
What's wrong with LA guys?
I don't know.
Be real.
I'm not going to talk about my LA guys. I ride hard for them.
You ride hard for them, but you just won't date them. You'll date outside. You just won't date them.
Pretty much. Kind of. But there's two different versions of LA girls. There's 2 versions of LA guys. The people who are actually natives and the people that move here with a idea of what LA is.
Gotcha.
So I think LA guys I love. But I just haven't met one that I'm like, okay, sure. Or I already know them and we're friends. So, and once you're in the friend zone, I don't move you out.
Oof.
Yeah.
Have you had friends try to date you?
Yes.
How does that go? Like, how do you politely say no to that? Or if you just say fuck no, I don't know how. Well, I don't know
No,
what you
I'm
do.
like, we're friends. That would be weird. And I don't think love is worth the risk of losing a friend. So, no.
But don't they usually say you love your best friend? So what if one of these friends is eventually going to be your best friend?
No. I wouldn't even like date my best friend. Like that was already a friend. Like if I find someone I'm attracted to and like clean slate situation, and then we become best friends while we're becoming like lovers or in a relationship, then sure.
Okay. So how's it been dating for you in LA? You're back on the market, or you've been on the market a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
I've been on the market for a month.
Okay. So what's up? How's the experience been?
So I'm on a few apps. I'm on Hinge, I'm on the League, and I'm on Bumble. So I'll just run through each for you.
Yeah.
The problem with Hinge, I feel like, is once I say no to a guy, but then they like me, they'll still pop up on my profile. So it's like wasted time. Like I already said no. So Hinge, like, why did you bring them back?
Determination. Isn't that not attractive?
No, not if the app is doing it for you. Like in real life, sure, like work for it. But like on an app, I'm annoyed. Like you just wasted my time that I had to open it and find this person that I already looked at.
Okay.
And then the League. So you have to apply to be in the League, and I'm just too lazy to delete it and then reapply. So that's why I'm still on it.
Well, what's wrong with it though?
It's more of a money app. Like you have to pay for certain features like that.
But we both have a very close friend who indeed did not pay for stuff and met someone, and now they're about to be married, right?
Wait, can you mouth this friend's name?
We'll call him just Diddy.
See, I don't know what you're talking about. I need the name.
First name H, last name Diddy.
Oh. He's also white. So.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I feel like it's a different
Wait,
dating.
why is that a different dynamic?
I feel like Black people don't really get on apps for real, or people of color are not. There's not a lot of us on the apps.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
One of our friends who used to be in California was called TY.
Okay.
She showed me an app once, and she was swiping, and it had this dude had like a black dude had like a gun and was just chilling. That's like his default picture, and I was like, damn, that's
weird.
thugging.
I feel like that's scary. No, that made me nervous.
She swiped left.
I'm sure.
What was any other apps?
Bumble. So my problem with Bumble currently, I feel like it's one of the best ones out there for sure. But my problem is that, so it's pretty much where the girl initiates the conversation. So once the girl initiates the conversation, I feel like all the guys are lazy. They expect you to keep going and keep the conversation going, but I like more aggressive guys. So it's like, I'll start it, but you need to carry it across the finish line completely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, in LA in general, and I know you're not going in on the LA guys, but do you think men need to step their game up here just a tad? Do you think it's too much of a cool factor?
Too chill.
Too chill?
Yeah, a little bit, for sure. I think the perk of Southern guys and East Coast guys is that once they like see you, they have no problem approaching you. So it's like it makes it a little bit better to meet a lot more people.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. So which is probably why I'm in long distance relationships.
A way to circle this all back, because I want to, for all those people out there who are even considering getting into long distance relationships, what do you think are the most important factors in that? Like, what do you need to know going in? What do you need to understand? If you want to talk about anything we've already talked about, by all means, go ahead. But like, what are some things that you think are essentials to this?
I think you have to be really self-aware. I think you really have to know yourself. I think you have to have your own community, your own life. And then I feel like you're just adding that person as like a bonus. You have to know it takes a lot of time. Sometimes you're going to be up later. They're going to be up later to try to accommodate each other's schedules. You're going to be on your phone a lot. Don't just text. You have to FaceTime. You have to call. You have to get on flights. It takes a lot of money. You have to send gifts. You have to do that whole thing. So it's a lot.
How do you satisfy like your sexual urge?
Yeah.
With long distance?
It's hard. Everything's virtual pretty much until you actually see each other. So it's kind of like a resistance thing.
Is there a lot of awkwardness at first?
No, not. It's like a
No.
normal
You just
situation.
jump in and go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty chill. So it's like, let's say we met long distance and then your first time coming to see me or my first time going back to see you. I think it's normal because it's like developing a friendship. So it's like you already know their personality. You kind of know their quirks. It's kind of like a one night stand, but better because you already know them. That first time is weird.
All right, Sarah. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Do you want to give out your your Instagram handle and all? Let's go over everything that you're working on again. By all
Okay.
means, this is your promo.
Cool. So you guys can find me on Instagram at Hey Finney. So it's Hey, Hey, and then my last name, Finney. And of course, I have my YouTube series, which I feature like a talk session and then a cocktail recipe. And then I have like little quick tutorials. And then from my Instagram, I have IGTV, which I post like little like one-off videos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're the first person I interviewed by myself.
Really?
So this is.
I held your hand. This is like baby steps. Congratulations, Anthony.
I'm taking over, Carlos.
Oh my God.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Thank you again to Sarah. Thank you to Anthony doing his interview on his own. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no worries. I had a lot of fun, and I just pretty much learned that I can't do a long distance relationship. As I stated before, man, physical touch is something that's very important to me, and I can't physically touch myself every night.
Yeah, some people cool with it. You definitely aren't. I probably wouldn't be down with that either. But thanks again, Anthony. Appreciate that. And if you want to listen to more to Sarah or check out Instagram videos, we're going to be posting down the show notes. And as always, please follow on IG for Loverboy Los. Facebook page, I Think I Love You. And the Twitter is Loverboy Loso. Yo, Anthony, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at ant_Dorsey. And that's pretty much it.
All right, everyone. So go ahead. Keep on listening. Keep on subscribing. Appreciate all the follows and appreciate all the listens. Comment, like, post. And we'll be back with another episode on Thursday.
Peace.